Incredible, 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 guys. Incredible. Let's get this thing rocking. So check it out. Let's get those 777s continue to keep rocking. Wow. This has been a crazy, crazy, crazy last couple of days, guys. So real quick, before I go in depth and break down all the information, guys, I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about myself and my story, so we're not complete strangers. My name is John Guaman. I'm a 25-year-old entrepreneur that got involved in the industry of trading and marketing literally about 5 years ago. Before being involved in this industry, I was working, part-time jobs, working as a server, working as a waiter, working as a busser, working in retail. And I remember back in the day, everybody was like so quick to tell me, like, I had big dreams, but everybody was so quick to tell me, like, yo, listen, you need to work super, super hard for money, or you need to be super, super smart for money. And then I remember my mom and dad working 2 jobs each to put food on the table growing up. And they used to always tell me, John, you need to go to school. You need to, go get good grades. You need to become super smart to make really smart investments. You need to go do X, Y, and Z. And then I started to realize early on, guys, I'm like, wait a minute, my mom and my dad are telling me that I need to work super hard for money and that I need to be super smart for money. But at the end of the day, I'm looking back now, I know a lot of hardworking people in the world that are still broke. And then I also know a lot of hardworking people in the world, actually smart people in the world that are still broke. So if it's not about working super hard, if it's not about working super smart, then what really is it all about? And in this entire DCX call, we're going to talk in depth about why investing in a cryptocurrency is so important. But before we go in depth with that, let's talk about why investing is important. Because the reality is, guys, you have to understand that investing nowadays isn't optional. It is a necessity. 95% of the world is fighting over 5% of the world's wealth, while 5% of the world owns all the world's money. And the 95% are made up by people that are employees, self-employed, but the 5% are made up by people that either have systems work for them or have money work for them. If you don't have a system, or if you don't have money working for you, you're going to work for money to the day that you die, inevitably, right? I used to have a mentor all the time. They used to tell me, John, if you don't make money in your sleep, you're going to work for money until the day that you drop dead. I'm like, okay, cool. So I remember at a young age of like 18, 19 years old, I started looking deeper into the cryptocurrency space, started looking deeper into the Forex space. And guys, it was crazy over the last 5-6 years. This has given me the ability to do a lot, travel the world, be able to meet some incredible people and impact thousands of lives. But more importantly, the amount of people that we've been able to impact all around the world with the people we've partnered up with has honestly been one of the biggest blessings in the entire world. My biggest tip and advice behind everything that we're going to be breaking down today is to make sure you take out notes, right? We always say note takers are money makers. Notes are a visual representation of all your hard work, but more importantly, you're not going to remember a single thing that I say, a single thing that you see. You will only remember the things that you're going to write down today. So like I said, this information is life-changing. Imagine hearing about cryptocurrency 5-6 years ago. You're hearing about it now, and it's still early because Facebook and big companies and corporations are just getting started. So guys, welcome to being a 1%er. You are part of that investors quadrant. You have sought that information that makes you part of a 1%er. Now, all that it takes now is just to execute. So let's get straight into the second slide, guys. Let's talk about cryptocurrency. Let's talk about DCX. And what DCX stands for is essentially digital currency, guys. Digital currency in itself is the natural evolution of money. So I want to kind of step back a little bit, and I want you guys to step back with me and think in your head like, okay, cool. Let's look at what's happened in the world in the last 2,000 years when it came to putting money or monetary value on something. If me and you were to talk about 5,000 years ago, I would be trading one commodity for another. Trade existed from trading, let's say, sugar for your flour. And let's say your flour for my sugar. At one point in time, we went from exchanging commodities to then, going out there and exchanging, give me 1 second, guys, I'm freezing up, to then going out there and putting monetary value on commodities like coins, right? So then we had bronze, silver, and gold coins, and at that point in time, the evolution of money evolved over the span of a couple hundred years. We started putting value in dollars, right? And as we started putting value in dollars, it was just another form of payment, another way to be able to go out there and do transactions and trade. Then we started to evolve into another different way to create transactions. And that became credit cards. That became so many other different types of ways. And then we evolved from credit cards into what we have now, which is essentially cryptocurrency, the largest form of payment and one of the greatest form of payments in the world, because it solves so many problems that a lot of banks have today. Now, cryptocurrency, guys, now it's that natural evolution of money, and it's something that cannot be stopped. So cryptocurrency, guys, Bitcoin, Ethereum, it can be traded or invested into long-term. You know, you can buy a piece of, let's say, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, you can buy Solana, you could buy a piece, but there's two main ways to trade it. You can go out there and exchange trade it or margin trade it by leverage trading it in the foreign exchange markets, which is absolutely incredible. You know, right now, if you look at the Bitcoin price, which is pretty crazy as we go into this, look at this. Bitcoin right now is at about like $60,000 to $61,000. But the price a year ago was at like $13,800. You could see that evolution, that exponential growth occurring right now in the cryptocurrency space. You have Ethereum, which is right now at the price just over $4,000, but the price a year ago was about $386. You know, you have Cardano, which was at about 9 cents about a year ago. It's just under $2 today. You know, you got Ripple XRP at 23 cents. You know, last year, now coming in at over $1. You know, and Shiba Inu, I think everybody's kind of heard about the hype online and through social media. You know, you saw that at $4 about last year, go up to about $43 this year, becoming the 8th #1 highest market capped coin in the world, which no one saw coming. And the market cap for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency continues to grow. You know, I remember the market cap just around last year was under about $1 trillion. What does that mean? Less than $1 trillion in terms of investors actually put money in the cryptocurrency space. Now that number has 3x'd, and you have companies like, you know, Disney, Nike, Facebook. You have multiple different now billion-dollar companies investing into this form of payment, understanding what the possibilities could be in the future. And I'm here to tell you, if you want to be able to go out there and create wealth, you got to go where the wealth is going. It's very simple, very logical, right? You even see countries, not just companies, states and countries. New York just announced last week that it is going to make it mandatory for every single person or every single kid in the state of New York to learn about cryptocurrency and its uses. Along with that, Miami just came out with a Miami coin where you can stake the coin, and Miami is going to start to distribute multiple different types of cryptocurrency. You know, you got states, you got countries, you know, cryptocurrency in Mexico right now, you know, Brazilians utilizing Bitcoin, Venezuela and El Salvador all utilizing it and backing up its currency by Bitcoin. Guys, it is becoming a massive, massive movement. And it's unlike anything we've ever seen before, even compared to the 2017 hype. You know, and we look at everything deeper, guys. It's crazy. I went to the entire App Store about last week, and I went into the App Store and I went straight into the top charts list. And I saw Coinbase above TikTok, above YouTube, above Instagram, above Facebook. And it was because, guys, there are so many people that are wondering what is going on. What is the hype about? What is this cryptocurrency stuff going on? Why is it that you got the NBA partnering up? Why is it that the Staples Arena just renamed itself as crypto.com, which I believe is only the beginning, right? We are witnessing we are living in a revolutionary time, most blessed time period to have ever existed in human history, right? And the most socially connected generation the world has ever seen before, and the wealthiest time period to have ever existed in human history. You are a part of history, ladies and gentlemen. You are a part of history. And one of the most beautiful things that I love about, you know, Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is that it solves not just our transactions in the online space, but it solves the inflation that's going on in the US government. Okay. Do you guys understand that the US government right now, everything is backed up by the dollar? The economy is basically backed up by the dollar and oil. But let's break this down for you guys real quick. The US government is printing out more money than it can ever physically print in physical paper. You guys understand that? That we are in over $25 trillion in debt. Our money supply keeps being inflated with money printing to pay out debt. Bitcoin has a limited supply. Once the 20 million plus are gone, they're gone forever, which is why Bitcoin has the monetary value right now of the world's digital gold. And I break down cryptocurrency as being the digital gold rush of our generation. The question is, are you educated? Are you getting involved? Or are you brushing it off? In an age of information, guys, ignorance is just a choice. So people are starting to understand this, and now billion-dollar companies are all moving in, trying to figure out what's going on. You know, over the last 4 days, we had some of the biggest educators across the entire world basically break down to you guys the different types of ways to make money in cryptocurrency. We're going to do a quick overview on that before we get straight into the entire platform. Okay, but there's about 8 different ways to make money in the cryptocurrency space. Day one, we broke down investing in a cryptocurrency. So day one, we broke down exactly like what was going on with Bitcoin, what we see it doing right now. You know, if you look at the total market cap of just cryptocurrency in general, we're looking at 2.7. Bitcoin right now has about a 1.1 market cap. And you just saw Crypto Picasso break down the emotional levels on where he sees if Bitcoin breaks above the 65K, we could see, you know, a potential rise to the 75, 80K. And if it flies past 80K, we're looking at a potential $120K move. We broke that down on Monday. We broke down a little bit of mining on Monday as well. And then on Tuesday, what we did is we broke down the third way to make money in trading, and that is leverage trading. So with leverage trading, what we were breaking down essentially was how you can actually margin trade and make money with Bitcoin or different types of cryptocurrency. Why is margin trading really good? Let me break down to you why it's even better sometimes than exchange trading. If you only have let's say you only have $1,000 to invest into the cryptocurrency space, and you try to put that $1,000 in Bitcoin, if Bitcoin moves up $1,000, do you think anything's going to really happen to your $1,000 in Bitcoin? Not really. Okay, because that $1,000 is maybe like a 2%, you know, maybe 2 point something percent. It's not going to have a dramatic effect on your portfolio. Even a loss, if Bitcoin goes down in price, is not going to have a dramatic effect. But check this out. You know what's going to happen is if you margin trade cryptocurrency and you understand how to catch the waves of bullish momentum and bearish momentum that occurs in the market, buys and sells, you'll be able to capitalize off of the market. And guess what? Be able to make a higher profit than, let's say, $5 to $10 just buying Bitcoin and holding on to it. With a 30 pip move, 50 pip move, you could make $50 compared to the $10 you would make buying a piece of Bitcoin right now at that same $1,000. Margin trading is absolutely crucial for anybody that wants to actually see bigger profits and bigger gains in the long term with a smaller amount of capital. So day two, we broke down leverage trading in our DCX free trial. Day three, now what did we break down day three? We broke down the power of staking. Do you guys know that you can make money having your cryptocurrency held up in different exchanges or even in your wallet, as long as you're providing these exchanges liquidity? Okay, some of you guys might be looking at me crazy, like, what does this even mean? I'm going to break it down for you. The bank, guys, the bank is taking your money, giving it to a hedge fund trader. Okay, compounding that wealth and giving you back and paying you an interest in your savings of 0.001% every single year. Now, instead of the bank doing that, imagine you had your savings in a, let's say, wallet, or let's say you had it in an exchange. And that exchange says, hey, if you park your money here and you're going to keep it here, this is what we're going to do. We're going to pay you and we're going to reward you, let's say a 24% APY yearly interest in rewards. So if you have $100,000 parked in our coin and you believe in our project, we're going to pay you $24,000 over the span of a year because of you parking your money where it's at right now, where in our exchange, for believing in our project, for doing what it is that we're doing. So now you're collecting passive income streams through cryptocurrency. You could do this with Cardano. You could do this with PancakeSwap. You could do this with Ethereum. You could do this with many different projects inside the DeFi and also alternative coin space, right? And we broke that down on day 3. We broke down farming. We broke down loans. Guys, farming is another way to be able to go out there and do this and collect rewards. Also, loans. You know, there's a coin out there that we were breaking down on, on Wednesday. Mike Sotero and Curtis Cobain were actually breaking it down. And what they were breaking down was essentially how you can go out there and make money, literally, actually get a loan on your own crypto, using your cryptocurrency as collateral and being able to make money on the Aave network, right? Aave will give you 75% of what you put up in terms of your collateral in the space. And there's multiple other different ways for you to go out there and do this, right? So we talked about loans, we talked about staking, we talked about farming. Day 4 was actually one of my favorite days. Day 4, we went over gaming. Now, I want to show you guys something. These are the top gaming coins in the entire world. Nike just announced that they created a Nike Land. You have Facebook right now creating its own metaverse. You have, Decentraland, which is already an online metaverse that you can go into, and also Sandbox, which is basically modern day, a completely different world where you can modern day right now buy land on Sandbox and sell it for a profit. In Gala, you can rent out your houses to different people and get paid a residual in the digital real estate realm. But with gaming, what I want to kind of talk to you guys about that's so important is, if you look at a company like Microsoft, if you look at companies like Xbox, Sony, if you look at all these companies combined, me and you can both see that their market caps are in the hundreds of billions of dollars. And you look at the crypto gaming space, this is the beautiful thing about what we talked about on day 4. Look at its market cap, only at 28 billion. It's so small. And if the market cap for the gaming token coins goes to 100 billion, what's going to happen to all these coins? It's going to skyrocket. It's going to, let's say if the market cap 3x's, you could see Sandbox at 4 times 3 is what? $12. You could see multiple different returns on the entire platform. So we went over gaming. We went over digital assets like real estate, buying land on Sandbox. We went over NFTs. One NFT that I was actually looking at that we bought early into was the Gambling Apes project, which was absolutely incredible. Now the floor price is getting so high, it's becoming impossible to get a gambling ape underneath one Ethereum. Just because you don't see the value in a digital asset yet doesn't mean you won't see it in the future, and doesn't mean people aren't willing to pay millions and millions of dollars for it. So we went over the 8 different ways these last these last 4 days. And honestly, it's been able to really drive and give people so much value and perspective that has really gotten me excited and so many of thousands of people excited. Drop some 777s in the chat box. Drop some 777s in the chat box if you're getting value. I want to actually show you guys something as well. Let me see if I could show you guys this. Check this out. I was just in Decentraland earlier today. Check this out. We were in Decentraland. We were at one of the clubs, Club Zoo, and we were just hanging out there. This is what the metaverse is going to look like. Now, let's get straight into basically how to get involved, right? And how to get all this information, because check it out. I actually learned this from multiple other different types of educators. I learned staking from, Mike Sotero. I learned leverage trading from Sean. I learned about investing in cryptocurrency through Ivan and through Crypto Picasso. I learned about gaming through Jordan and Zach. I learned about all these different things on one specific platform. And for people that are on the call today, what I want to kind of break down to you guys is I want y'all to understand something very clear. Is that there's this thing called the 80-20 rule. And what it states is that 80% of people will fail at whatever it is that they do, whether it's, marketing, whether it's real estate, whether it's school. Do you guys know that out of 1,000 kids that go to college, less than 20% of them actually graduate outside of their major? Do you understand that? It's actually crazy, right? So why is it that so many people fail? Why is it that most people just don't understand or really know what it is to go out there and do? I think it's because obviously, I think some people don't have the head or the heart for success, but I really believe people lack the proper tools, education, and mentorship to really go out there and get to the next level. Everybody tries to do it by themselves. They try to go learn by themselves, try to get free knowledge, free information. And the problem with getting free knowledge and free information is you get what? Free results, right? The knowledge that we've been able to give you guys the last 4 days with over 10,000 plus people tuning in has been free, yes. But it's based off of paid education that we spent thousands of hours looking into. So guys, we partnered up with, the #1 trading educational academy in the world when it comes to cryptocurrency. And that #1 trading educational platform in the world has a full-blown academy that breaks down from A to Z, right? Everything from like a college course, 100, 200 to 300 series on basically how to trade in the entire cryptocurrency space. And the beautiful part here is instead of going out there and getting fish from us, we're actually teaching you how to fish. If you give a man a fish for a day, if you give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. But if you teach a man how to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime. The beautiful part about the entire academy that we actually have here with the DCX Academy is we give you guys the ability to go out there and learn a skill set. And a skill set is something no one can give to you and no one can take that away from you. Once you have it forever. Right? So when we're talking about leverage trading, we're talking about impulse moves, we're talking about a retracement, a correction that's going on in the market or something that's going on the high, it's all based off the knowledge that we got from the academy. On top of education, we also have live trading education. So the beautiful part about the academy is if you're not the type of person like I am that could just like literally watch videos all the time and try to take notes, you need somebody to kind of guide you through it and step by step help you throughout the process. We have this thing called Go Live, which is basically essentially the first ever Netflix for trading, or I like to say first ever TV guide for trading. The beautiful part about Go Live is we actually have about 1,500 hours of live trading education every single month with about over 150 educators. So for cryptocurrency, just in general, we have about 15 educators broadcasting hundreds of hours every single month, giving you guys value, giving you guys some insights on different types of NFTs, different types of different projects that we're finding in the DeFi space, calling out certain trade ideas. Shout out to Jordan. I remember Jordan on one of the Go Live sessions that we were actually on earlier. He called out Sandbox at 80 cents. I remember, Mike Sotero, me and him were talking, and we were calling out this specific NFT project at just under a 0.01 Ethereum. Crazy, right? So guys, we're getting the right type of live trading education from the Go Live system. Okay, imagine you trying to go out there and learning by yourself a skill like basketball. It'd be very difficult for you to go out there and learn by yourself unless you had a coach. You know, the Go Live trading education is like that coach there to teach you one-on-one. It's like having Michael Jordan literally go to the court with you and help you learn the turns, help show you how to do the layups, show you how to shoot the three-pointers to make in every single right shot, just like you'll make in every single right trade. All right. On top of that, right, we have different types of tools. You know, I brought it up earlier. We were like going over the SwipeCoin Scalper tool, which is essentially a margin trading tool that you'll be able to go out there and utilize. It's a high algorithmic pattern that scans the market for certain entries in the market. You know, these entries are very high in probability, and normally 90% of the time we're having educators going out there and analyzing these charts and looking for the best confirmations and the best entries. These algorithms help it easier for somebody to just copy and paste entry points and stop losses on Bitcoin and Ethereum to understand exactly where the retracements are going to happen and where the perfect buying opportunities are going to take place. On top of that, we have different types of tools like, you know, learn and earn services. So the way the learn and earn services work is we have one app in the App Store called SwipeCoin. SwipeCoin is an app that provides people the ability to go out there and gain the trade ideas from the educators and the experts that have been given to us by them, researched by them, looked by them. Imagine you going out there and instead of, you know, playing basketball with Michael Jordan and him teaching you, all you got to really do is throw the basketball to Mike, and Mike's going to throw up every single shot. Right? That's what the SwipeCoin app is there to do. It's there to help assist you. So while you're on your path and on your journey to really go out there and learn more about cryptocurrency, learn about the academy, learn more about how the metaverse works, you could also become profitable along the way. You know, we're giving out different types of exchange ideas, and then also trade ideas on this entire app and on this entire platform. On top of that, we have a scholarship program here in the Master Academy. You know, in the DCX Academy, we actually have a scholarship program that states, hey, if you go out there and refer 2 friends to the platform, you're going to get your education for free. So we reward anybody that wants to go out there and actually, you know, refer anybody to the platform, because, hey, let's say you want to, you know, go out there and learn how to trade with your friends or a couple of buddies, let's say your parents. It's very cool to learn with a group of people than just by yourself, right? And we have an influencer marketing program that works very similar, like Instagram, works very similar to other different type of affiliate marketing platforms, like let's say Uber. You know, you could refer people to Uber, you could refer people to Cash App. Amazon has an affiliate / influencer marketing program. We have an influencer marketing program that provides people the ability to go out there and refer people to the platform. I Am Master Academy says, hey, listen, for every $1 that the company makes, 60 cents goes back into the affiliates, the influencers, the people that are going out there and providing the knowledge and information to the masses. The company doesn't spend $1 on advertising, but says, hey, our influencers go out there and market the platform, and you're going to get compensated for it. So this is an absolute incredible academy that provides people the ability to go out there and learn even more, deeper than just the surface level of what we touched upon today, and be able to get also additional different resources, different courses, everything along the way to be able to have massive success, right, in the entire platform. You know, the last thing I really kind of want to go on with everybody on the call, I just want to ask you guys, you know, 3 questions, because, you know, the academy is great. You know, cryptocurrency as a whole, the entire market is just revolutionary. But I want to ask you guys these 3 questions, because these 3 questions changed my whole life. Okay. The first question I want you guys to ask yourself is, number 1, who are you listening to? Because back in 2016, before I got introduced to cryptocurrency, man, before I got introduced to the academy, I got introduced to so many different types of markets. I remember, you know, I was listening to the wrong types of people. I was trying to get wealthy advice from broke people. And at the end of the day, I love my mom and dad to death. I love my family. I loved my community to death. I loved my friends to death. But nobody in my friends, family, or community had ever made more than $3,000 in a month. Nobody had ever made a 6-figure income. And at the end of the day, no matter how much I didn't want to admit it, they didn't really know what they were talking about, right? If you look at the world statistics, it's actually pretty scary. Do you guys understand that like 75% of people live paycheck to paycheck? Do you guys know that like 80% of people have less than like $2,000 in their bank account as of right now? And an even crazier or scarier statistic, 89% of people will work for money till the day that they die. Forbes released an article about that last year. 89% of millennials will work for money until the day that they drop dead. Pretty crazy. So you tell me if the majority are winning. And I remember back in 2016, I had to ask myself, damn, who am I listening to? Because the majority are losing. And if I'm going to want something different, I'm going to have to do something different. If I'm going to listen to the masses, I'm going to listen to the majority, I'm going to end up like the majority. So the first question on the call, I want every single person on the call to ask themselves is, who are they listening to? Because once I started listening to the right types of people, my entire life changed, man. I was able to get exposed to this type of information. And I've been able to travel to 20 plus 25 countries all over the world to share exactly what we're sharing today. And it was completely life altering. So second question, what vehicle are you in? And is the vehicle that you're in today, can it help you become wealthy in 2 to 5 years, right? Life is all about vehicles. You know, you could have, okay, the worst NASCAR driver in the world go up against the best NASCAR driver in the world. But if you put the worst NASCAR driver in the world in a broken down 1977 Honda Civic and the best NASCAR driver in the world, the best NASCAR driver in the world in a broken down car, right? And the worst NASCAR driver in the world in a brand new 2020 Lamborghini, and had them race up against each other, no matter how good, okay, that driver is. The worst NASCAR driver in the world would win that race. Not because he is a better driver, but just because he's in a better vehicle. Life is all about vehicles, you know? And, you know, I remember working a job, working in like, let's say retail, working in at a restaurant. And I remember that was just a vehicle. Investing, trading, cryptocurrency, this stuff right here is a vehicle to get you from point A to point B. And I used to have a mentor tell me all the time, John, listen, if that vehicle cannot help you become wealthy in 2 to 5 years, you're in the wrong vehicle and you need to get out right now. So the second question, what vehicle are you in? And can that vehicle help you become wealthy in 2 to 5 years? The final question I want you guys to ask yourself on the call. The final question is, how are you adapting with the times? Because if you do not adapt with the times, you are going to be left behind. Look at what happened with Blockbuster and Netflix. Look at what happened with Turo and the car industry. Look at what happened with Airbnb and the hotel industry. Look at what happened with social media. Look at what happened with the world. If you fail to adapt with the times, you are going to be left behind. And guys, you know, we live in a world now where AI is taking over. We live in a world now where legitimately the job market's becoming scarce. I was reading an article the other day that was like, that said that, do you guys understand that like there's certain like industries that will not exist in the next 10, 20 years? Like, I don't know if you know this, but court of law, like lawyers will not exist in like 20 years because there's going to be AI that's going to be so smart that'll be able to provide laws and read out certain laws to certain people. Like it's insane. So are you adapting with the times, or are you being left behind? You know, in times of change, it's the learners that will inherit the world, while the learned will find themselves beautifully equipped in a world that no longer exists. So the next person I'm going to bring up, he's going to be our special guest that's going to provide you guys insight information into the academy. He is another educator, somebody that I respect so heavily because he's been able to, you know, not just trade in the cryptocurrency side, but also the entire, you know, Forex side, and provide people all over the world trade setups and ideas that have really just shifted people's perspective and shifted their financial and mental future. So guys, the next person we're going to bring up, I'm going to drop some 777s in the chat. He is one of my good friends. He is a DCX educator on the platform, and he's going to provide you guys just some insight on the entire academy and why he got started. So Mr. Mike Neverett, take it away, my brother. Take it away.
All right, what's going on, guys? Hope you're doing amazing. John, thank you for really just exposing and creating awareness. And most importantly, if you could allow me to start my video, that'd be amazing. Would
Got you,
appreciate
brother. I
that.
think you're good.
All right, amazing. Apparently not. That's all right. So, guys, with that being said, the reason that we did a call like this is for the following. My background, my family is from Latin America, and they didn't really have access to information. They didn't have access or even awareness, had no idea that things like this even existed. So for us, what's important is in order to change your situation, right, you need to have access to different type of information. So being able to be in the space for the last 5 to 6 years, it's been something that I really do not take for granted. And it's amazing what happens once you're one, of course, around the right people. And people say all the time, right? People say you become the average of the five people around you. And I think what happens is once you start to seek either information, a different lifestyle, becoming someone different, that's at that moment is where you are going to actually attract those people. So if right now your environment isn't conducive to your growth, then it's not because of the people, it's because that's not really who you are yet. You haven't made that decision yet. So, we invite you to really tap into a community that's focused on progression, right? Focused on taking advantage of this crypto space in in all the ways that you can. John broke down, I think, about 8, 9, 10 different ways of doing it. So it's you guys are in a pretty good spot. So with that being said, a little bit more about me. My name is Mike Navarrete. I've been doing this and teaching professionally for quite a few years now. And what I want you guys to understand is really the most important thing that shifted my perspective on my money and my time. And it's the following. You guys have to understand the value and the potential that your money actually has right now and what that actually means for your time, right? So once I started to understand that I could have, X amount of money in a place where it's going to create interest for me, right? 70, 100%, if not more, through different mediums. And I knew it could just do that for me. As long as I just keep it there and I don't move it, it's going to accumulate more of it, right? That didn't just give me money, that gave me time. And that's what really shifted my life because 2015, in order for me to make $50, it took 3 hours, right? 3 to 4 hours of my life just to make that kind of money, right? So when I understood that those same $50 under the right circumstance, right, in the right place, for the right period of time, that could turn into 150, 250, if not more. So it wasn't that my money was evolving and turning into 3 times, 5 times, 10 times more. That really wasn't the only thing that was of value. It's that I wasn't just making 250. I was getting 15 hours of my life back. Because if it took 3 to make 50, then it would take 15 to make 250. And so once I started thinking about how am I actually using my money, money is just a tool. For some people, right, you want certain things, you want certain homes and vehicles, experiences. For me, I wanted freedom. That was the most important thing that I wanted. I wanted to have access fully to my time at will, to be able to experience different parts of the world. And so once I realized that I could get that back, right, I could get those things doing the right things. And so as you all embark on this journey and you start to really dive in to this platform, you're going to start to realize, and you have to understand, you have to make this decision. This is really, really important, right? You cannot receive something totally different, right? Live an entirely different lifestyle if you don't become someone different. So the most important thing for everyone here to have success is going to be to do the following, right? Be coachable, be consistent, and ask questions. So you all have proximity to people who have shifted their lives and they're putting you in front of the trend over and over and over and over again. Remember, all you're doing right now is you're leveraging people that the company has hired to do the research, to do the analysis, to make sure you don't make the same mistakes that we made when we first got started here. So that's all you're really doing. It's think about it like this. The people who are educating you, it's almost like they're your employees, right? We serve you to put you in a better position so that you're trading, investing responsibly, and then you're aware, you're ahead of it, right? If you're finally hearing about this whole metaverse thing, you know, the last week, last 2 weeks, guess what? We've been ahead of this for a year. A year. And you know where we heard of this first? On Go Live, right? The exact platform that John walked you guys through. So for us, you know, it's not about what we have done. It's about what we have duplicated. And to be a part of a movement where thousands and thousands and thousands of people are gaining new insight, are able to shift the way they live day to day, there's nothing better than that. So guys, if you want to be tapped into the right environment, if you want to position yourself to really tap in and go places you've never been before, right? If you don't want to make the same mistakes that people have made, because I'll tell you what, I saw Bitcoin when it was at $7. But here's a keyword. I saw crypto when it was at $7. I didn't say I invested into crypto when it was at $7. Guess what? I saw it again when it was at 100. Yep. I didn't say I invested when it was at $100. Why? Because it's not about what's in front of you. It's about what you do with what's in front of you. So don't make the same mistake that I've made year after year after year, because yes, I finally got plugged in and I started making moves. Guys, my first Bitcoin purchase was just $25. It was just $25, but that was enough to put me in the game. That was enough to realize, hold on, this could actually be of value. And that just breaks the barrier. So what I have for you is, don't fear what you don't understand. Dive into it, right? Dive into things that you don't understand, because once you do, you're going to make decisions that could potentially alter your life forever. So with that being said, I'm going to pass it back here to John. You know, it's a pleasure to have actually, you know, been guided by him for the last 5 years or so. It's incredible because someone who's younger than me has put me in a position to do great things. So don't let your ego, don't let your current ignorance keep you in the same place. I just highly encourage that you put yourself in a better position with better information. Appreciate you, John.
Yep. Appreciate you, Mike. Guys, drop some 777s in the chat box for Mike, just giving us value, just giving us more and more value, bro. I love what you said over there. It said, I'm buying my time back. And that's the most beautiful part about this entire thing too. And to really get involved, I want everybody to go back to the person who got you on the call and make sure you get started. You know, to get involved with the entire academy, guys, it's not an arm or a leg. It's literally $188. You know what I mean? I've spent $188, right, on a night that I probably will never remember. I've spent $188 on a date I don't want to remember. I've spent $188 on some dumb stuff, okay? The reality is you got to ask yourself the question, hey, am I willing to invest into me? If I was a stock, would I invest into that stock? Would I invest into that coin, or would I not invest into that coin? That is the biggest question that you guys need to ask yourself, right? $188 to get access to millions of dollars worth of value and information when it comes to getting access to $1 trillion industry, which is the cryptocurrency space. So go back to the person who got you on the call and tell them, hey, either A, I'm ready to get started, or B, I have questions. And the last thing I really recommend all of you guys to do is to go back to that person as well and thank them for getting you on the free trial. Thank them for getting you on the entire call. Guys, I remember when I was on my come up back in 2017, 2016, everybody was so quick to invite me to go party, go smoke, go drink, go do negative things that were just going to bring me down. Everybody was so quick to invite me to bring me down, right? And to things that would bring me down, right? There was very few people. There's probably 1 out of 1,000 people that actually invited me to go do something that would help me build myself, create generational wealth, learn about real estate, learn about investing, go learn. There was 1 out of 1,000 people on campus, I'll never forget, that would actually invite me to go out there and learn about this type of stuff. So the person that invited you to this call today and the last calls, the last 3 days and 4 days, they loved, trust, and respected you enough to invite you to something that would elevate you. Go out there and thank them. And I appreciate all of you guys for tuning in on this final day of the DCX free trial call. We have one more day after this. And for everybody that gets started today, you're going to get access to that call tomorrow. It's going to be a free orientation where we're going to walk you through the entire academy, show you how to get set up correctly with the right wallets, with the right websites, the right apps, and also show you what to do and what not to do in the entire cryptocurrency space so we can set you up for success, right? Our biggest thing here is to compress time, right? It could take you 5 years or 5 months to really understand cryptocurrency. All that matters is the information and the people that you know. So I appreciate y'all, love y'all, and I'm going to talk to y'all soon. And I'll see you guys in the Master Academy. Peace.